Peter L. Bernstein once said that game theory says that the true source of uncertainty lies in the intention of others. With this word, I, C.A. Jyoti Sapramadan, will help you in getting more details about the game theory. Right, in this game theory, we have the different contents. First content in this, the introduction of the game theory. The second point is the key concepts that's related to the game theory. The third point is the different types of games which we will study in the game theory. Next, what are the players and who are the players in the game theory. And next point is the strategy behind the game theory. And what does this exactly the strategy is and how we will play the different roles of strategies. Two-person sum game, that's a very important topic in this concern. And the saddle point. Yes, you have to calculate the saddle point with the help of game theory. But the point is that, ma'am, in quantitative technique for managers, this is the most important topic which plays a very important role for the managers. Why it plays an important role? As we all know, we all plays the game. Same as the managers plays the game, and the manager has to make a strategy to ascertain which one is more beneficial for them. Right? For this we are studying and taking care of the game theory. Please have a look on the slides which is over there. Game theory is a mathematical framework. Yes, it is a concept which is related to mathematical. As we have to play a matrix, that again the same matrix which are being told you in the linear programming as well as in the transportation and assignment. So it is also a mathematical framework. Yes, it is also a mathematical framework for analyzing the strategic interactions. Yes, you have to make interactions between the player A and the player B. How they are making interaction between each other. Right? Among the rational decision making, it widely used in economics business. Yes, we are placing a very important role in business economics. This game theory is playing a very important role, as well as it is nowadays playing a role in political science also. Further, it is more playing an important role in finance sector also. Yes, in the finance sector, game theory playing a very important role. You have to take care of all these things very nicely. Right? In this, what we basically do, the player is psychology. We will go in the mind of that person and ascertain whether they are using the same strategy or not. Right? So what is over here written? Like we are using the psychology to model and predict the outcomes. Ascertain future determination of that person. In a competitive and cooperative scenario, yes, you are staying in a competition. The one person is having a competition with the other person. That's why you have to play a game theory, right? But don't play games with your friends, with your family. This is only for the business world, right? So in the game theory, what we will do? We will make a mathematics, yes. But don't worry students, it's not a math. If you are weak in math, don't worry, ma'am, I won't able to do up, don't worry. It's just a mathematical framework. We will make a frame of math, a little bit math will be used up. And with this math, we make a rational decision making. Yes, we are able to make the best decision we can do. Right? Coming up next, what exactly this will told up? That's an introduction, basic introduction of a game theory, right? Now coming up with the next point, what are the key concepts that are related to the game theory and what we have to study in the game theory. The most important thing, and the candidate plays a very important role in the game theory, is the players. Yes, the person, the candidate who is making a decision, the candidate who are making a strategy. So the players, the decision maker in the game, they are the only person who making a decisions in the game theory. So the very important topic in this is the player. The focus more on the players, because the players are the one who is making a strategy. Now coming up to the second point only, which I just used up, strategy. What the player doing it? They are making a strategy. What we have to do? We have to go on the right side or we have to go on the left side. Either we just throw the coin or we just have to leave that dice, right? So they have to make a strategy. possible outcomes, what can be a possible actions that the player can take, what I can do. I think we should go further. No, 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 we have to stop. This is the strategy which the player has to make, right? So the first person is player, as me, myself. Strategy, my mind, my working. Now the third point, that's again you are asking, third point, pay off. How much I can earn it. If I do this step, how much I get it. If I won't do this step, how much I lost it. So we have to make a payoff. What is important in this is pay off. That means the gain and loss. Very true. You easily understand it. That's a gain and loss. That's a payoff, right? And the next point is when we are talking about the games, like again, the concepts which we are more important in this. So we have a different concept that's related to game. Yes, we are playing a game. Exactly, try to understand it. We are in this world, right? We are on the earth. What we are doing? We are actually playing a game. I am playing a game of a Jyoti, right? You are playing a game of your name. We are playing a game. We are making a strategy, right? So the game is there. Which type of game is there? Right now I am playing a game of a quantitative techniques for manager. Right? Being a professor, I am using this game theory. So game means over here is a structured scenario where the players make a strategic decisions. Yes, they have to make a proper strategy decision for using the quantitative techniques and taking a decision in effective and efficient manner. Right, now coming up to the next point, what is the next point and the most important point over here is the equilibrium. Yes, equilibrium. Everyone wants to add the equilibrium level, right? If they are not having a gain, at least no loss will be there. They want to be a balance. Okay ma'am, I just come to the balance point, that's an equilibrium level, right? The player where no player can improve their payoff by unilateral change in their strategy. That point will be called as equilibrium point. Hope you getting what are the main points over here. The first one is player as B candidate. The second point is my strategy. The third point is a payoff, the rewards. Rewards. Whatever we are doing, if we getting something in my pocket now, so that's a reward, right? Now the next point is a game. Yes, we are actually playing a game. Karma, right? That's a game. Scenario, strategies. And the last point is equilibrium. Okay, no profit, no gain, at least in a equilibrium level we should earn. Done? Coming on further, these are the key important concepts, right? Now going more details of the game theory, there are different types of games. Different strategies and games are playing on. The first point over here is like cooperative games as well as versus. We can say cooperative games versus non-cooperative game, right? Cooperative game, non-cooperative. What is cooperative game? Players can form a binding agreement. In this, they are forming a binding agreement. Binding. The bind towards each other. That's this I am doing, the next you have to do it. So that means the player can form a binding agreement. The second one, that's a non-cooperative. This is a non-cooperative game. In this, no binding agreement. There is no binding agreements. Players can act independently. That means the player A is not dependent on player B. Right? This is a one category. This is a one category. So we are coming to the next category. This is one category, cooperative versus non-cooperative. Right? Now coming up to the second category. Very important. See this beauty of this game theory. The second one is symmetric. Symmetric. See the word itself. Symmetric. That means in a same level. Second is asymmetric. So what the symmetric indicates? Players have identical strategy. I am wearing a blue shirt, the other person is also wearing a blue shirt, right? The same strategy. I am using this remote control for changing the PPT, the other person is also doing. The strategy is same. Strategy, player, that me, right? Work identical strategy and payoff when the other person is also using the same strategy. Might be if I am earning 100 rupee, he or she also earning a 100. That's a payoff, right? That is the symmetric, same. Symmetric indicates same. Or you can use the word as identical. right? That's same, identical. But the second category is asymmetric. Getting the word? Please indicate the word itself. Asymmetric. That means the player has different strategies. Different one. I'm wearing a blue t-shirt. Oh, that person will wear the black one. A different strategy. If I'm going on the right side, the other person will go on the left side. Different thinking, different thoughts, different version. So that might be I'm getting 100, he or she might be getting 50 or 150, right? This is the second category of game. Okay, shall we proceed further? Hope it is done. Just a one recap. First one is cooperative, non-cooperative, right? Second is symmetric, or second one is asymmetric, right? Now coming up to the third category, zero-sum game, the hero of this chapter. That's a zero-sum game. One player gain and is another player loss. This happens in our life also. If I am getting some extra money, but obvious the other person will getting some less money, right? If I win, the other person will get loss. So that situation will be called as win-loss. That's a zero-sum game, right? One player gain and the other player is loss. That's a simple. The other person will gain up, so definitely the other person will lose, right? Now coming to the next point, zero-sum game. Zero. It can be a non-zero. Now it is a non-zero. Here it is only zero-sum game. Difference. Okay. The players' gain and losses are not necessarily equal. That does not mean. Listen it. If I am gaining with 5 rupees, in this case, the other person will have the loss of 5 rupees. I earn more 5 rupees, he or she will earn less 5 rupees. But in non-zero sum game, it can be possible I am getting 5 rupees extra, but the other person may be in the loss of 4 rupees, may be in the loss of 3 rupees. That means what I am gaining is not same the other person losing. That is non-zero sum game. Clear? I make it very easy. Hope it is clear for you. Don't you feel it is like very easy for you? Yes, it is easy because I am telling you. Okay. Chalo. Coming up to the next point. Again, focus on the word and learn the strategy of wording. The other word is symmetric. The word indicates simultaneously. Khatte. Simultaneously. The player make decision at the same, simultaneously at the same time. I make the decision exactly at 9 o'clock. He or she also making a decision exactly at 9 o'clock. Why, ma'am, I use the word 9 o'clock? Early in the morning when we wake up, we have a very good energy. We have good thoughts in the mind. So take the decision in the morning, just like the market opens at 9:30. You can do your trading early as possible. Same with the simultaneously game. The players, here players means more than one player. It can be player A, it can be a player B. They are making decision at the same time. That means at the same time I decided to take the investment in machinery A. The other person also decided, oh, I also take an investment in the machinery B. Right? Now coming to the same version of this, versus sequential. Word indicates sequential. Players make decision one after the other. I move first step, then he will on my back step. Sequential. Be in a sequence. Right. One step, second step, third step. If I take the decision, the second person will come up and stand at me and take the next decision. So that will be sequential. Hope it is done? Okay. Now coming to the next point. Which one is the next point? Perfect information game. Perfect. Wow, you are so perfect. Perfect information game. All the players know the strategy and payoff. Oh ma'am, they are God. Is they are Bhagwan ji? No, but we are taking it like a perfect. That means they are having a good information. They are using their mind. They are using the blessings of the Ishwar. That means a perfect information games. All the players knows the strategies and payoff. They know the strategy. Might be they are experienced. Might be they studied the book properly. Or might be they are having a lot of practice. so that they are making a perfect and right decision. Right. Coming up to the next point, the perfect, that means versus perfect, and the second one is imperfect. Right. Imperfect players lack. They are not so much capable. They are lack the complete information. They are not having the full information and still they are taking decision. Stop. They will feel like they are not taken a good decision. Done? Hope you are enjoying the classes and learning the lot. Right? Coming up to the next point, that's the next step. So just having a short recap of all these types. The first one is cooperative versus non-cooperative. Right? Next point is symmetric and the versus asymmetric. Second one. The third one is zero sum, non-zero sum. Next point is simultaneously, साथ, right? And the second is versus sequential, not साथ, back to back. Next is perfect. Oh, you are having a perfect information. And the next one is imperfect. That's a lack of complete information. So these are the different types of games theory which we are starting with a practical approach. Right? Coming up to the next point, that's again a very important point is a Nash equilibrium. As a new words are there, no? Right. Nash equilibrium. So try to learn the new words with a big smile on your face. Okay. So what's this Nash equilibrium is? A Nash equilibrium is a strategy. Ma'am, you are talking about strategy. Bacha ji, game theory is full of strategy. And in today's scenario, every topic is required your strategy. Yes, you have to make a strategy from start early in the morning when you wake up at 5 o'clock. What you start making strategy? I have to do yoga. I have to go for the walk. Then I have to go to the office. Right? You decide your full strategy. Same in this case also. You are making a strategy profile where no player can gain by unilaterally deviating from their strategy. They are not unilaterally deliberately changing their strategies, and it represents a stable state. Equilibrium means stable. They are on the stable state of where the player's expectations are met. Yes, I am satisfied. My expectations of getting that much amount is fulfilled, so they are at the stable level. So that point will be called as a Nash equilibrium. That's a new word for you, I think so. Okay, so just having a look on the new word. What does this indicate? A Nash equilibrium is a strategy profile where no player can gain by using the unilateral deviation from their strategy, and their equilibrium will achieve. They represent a stable state of mind when players' expectations are met. They are met. They are on the equilibrium level, happy level. Alright. Coming up to the next topic of this session is the very important. Now we are coming on the practical example. Just start with one small mini case of example. Before starting this example, I just want to show you the matrix. How the actual matrix is made up of, right? I am showing you over here. I am changing the color for this. This one is visible. Yes. See how we make the matrix. Say example, we have two players. Just taking two players. Here I have written player A. Right? Player A is making a two strategy. First and second strategy. Right? We have the other candidates. That's a player B. Here we are using a player B. Player B is also making a two strategy, 1 and 2. Right? Now what's this? This A11, that is a player A strategy as compared to player B first strategy. A12, what does this indicate? Player A1 strategy and the player B second strategy. Second strategy and the player B first strategy. A22, player second strategy, player A second strategy and player B also with the second strategy. This type of a table, this type of a matrix, this is called as a mathematical matrix for game theory. This you have to understand. Do you feel this is a like practical? No, it's not practical. It's just a mathematical concept, not deep thought about the maths, right? So this is the strategy of the game theory matrix. This we called as a payoff matrix. This we called as a payoff matrix, right? Now you have to think about this matrix. First you have to study the case study, what is given over here, and then make a matrix and then analyze your question in a different ways, right? So proceeding further with this game theory, read this instructions properly what is given. I've just used one name as a prisoner's dilemma. Don't think it, ma'am, it's a practical case study. No, just an example for you. Okay, I've used the word example. The prisoner's dilemma is a classic example of a non-cooperative game. Just heard about cooperative, non-cooperative. That illustrate why two rational individuals, rational means they are using their mind properly, and might not cooperate even if it appears to be in their best interest. They are not cooperating to each other, though it is best for them, but they are not cooperating. So in what case, how we will discuss with this question? Have a look. Please look on this thing. We have a matrix, player 1. This is player A, first strategy. This is a player A. The first strategy, player B. That's again a A player, but the second strategy. Player 1 is a very cooperative, and second one is defeat, or we can say cooperate. They are cooperating, but second one is no, I am not cooperating, I am ready to defeat it. Okay. Here the player B, both the player B, the first one is cooperate and the second one is defect, right? They are ready to defeat or defect, right? Now it's giving you 3-3, that you understand A11 which I just discussed you up, and A12. So player A when cooperate, then player B cooperate, then it's 3-3. Okay, both are on the 3-3 level. But here the player A when cooperate, but player B defects this and this, then it is 0-5. Cooperate and defect. But when it is defect, player A has the strategy of defect and player B has the strategy of cooperate, then it's 5-0. And same with that 1-1. Here it is 3-3, here is 1-1. Remember this, it's 5-0, 0-5. Why it is 0? 1 is defect. Defect means harder. Defect. Okay. So now what we have given in this question, please make it understand properly. We have make a payoff matrix. Yes, this is a payoff matrix. Right. Now the first point. If both the players cooperate, so that means this cooperate and this one is also cooperate. First situation, both cooperate. So I just make it as CC. Both the players cooperate and cooperate, right? They receive a pay of 3 each. 3. They are getting a 3. 3-1 for the player A, 3 for player B. Right. Second situation. Now please have a look on the second situation. Very beautiful. If one defects while the other cooperate. Now one is defect and other one is cooperate. Considering this one and this one. One is D and other one is C. DC or CD, whatever it is, taking a condition in a different way. One defects and others cooperate, the defects gets 5 and the cooperates will get 0. That's, please have a look, 5-0 or 0-5. That is the situation, 0-5 or 5-0. That means the one other cooperates, the defects will get 5, gets more 5 than as compared to the cooperator. Right. Now the last condition for this, if both defect, DD situation, both defects, first situation is CC, both cooperate, the second situation is DC or CD, and the third situation is DD. Then again the DD will be, they receive a pay of 1 each. Please have a look on this, 1 each. Right, this is the situation. I am repeating once again, what the situation is. Just have a look, CC, if the player is both CC, cooperate, then what we have discussed, 3 each, right? The next one is DC or we can say CD, then 0-5 or 5-0, and the last one is DD that this situation, then we are taking 1, pay of 1. That means the Nash equilibrium over here is equilibrium, oh please, I just want to be equilibrium DD. Because in this situation they are getting equal, 1 balance, no ways of ladai, like there are no phase of a defeat over there. You are getting okay, that's a Nash equilibrium, defect. This is the example. Though it's like, ma'am, it's a very easy, how will we come up in this in the real world? No, it's not related to the real world, but it is basically a psychological, using the psychology of the concept. Right? By the psychology we are using this example. Right? Coming up to the next point, hope you're getting this classic theory, just a simple basic theory. Now I'm coming to the next point, a very important point. Before starting the most important practical question, just making one time, I'm just revising it. Player. Who is a player? Me. The competitor who are playing the game with the other person. A competitor in the game is known as a player. Remember, the player over here is not the cricket player. Here player is the person who is making a strategy. It can be your father, it can be your mother when they are making a strategy either at their office or either at their home. The player can be any person, right? Can a player be a person who was sitting on a chair? Yes, it can be a player because they are using their mind. That's a beauty behind the game theory in QT for managers. When the two players are involved, yes, the two players are involved in the game, and if the gain made by one player is exactly equal to the loss of the other. That means we have just discussed the person who is one player is gaining, right? That is exactly equal to the other player loss. Then it will be called as a two-person zero-sum game. Two-person zero-sum game. That means if I am gaining by 5, the other person will be losing by 5. That's plus 5 minus 5. That will be equals to 0. And that's why they called it as a two-person zero-sum game. Okay. Now coming up to the next point. What's the next point? And this point is, if the value, that's a fair value, ma'am. How we calculate the fair value of fair game? This will be if the value of the game is 0. Yes, then only it will be called as the fair game or a value of two-person zero-sum game. Coming to the next point, and this strategy is a very beautiful point, that's a saddle point. Hope you are also waiting for this point. What's the solution? How we can get this fair value and what is the solution of the game having the saddle point? That means a pure strategy. Yes, we have discussed in this session only, we have different types of strategy, pure strategy and mixed strategy. So now we are discussing on the first point, that's a pure strategy. Now you have to use the rules of the game theory considering the pure strategy. Remember, whenever there is a pure strategy, then only there will be a saddle point. For getting the saddle point, we have to use this concept. If the max min, remember what's this? Max min. Max means maximum, minimum. If the max min value is equals to min max value. Don't worry, I will tell you what this max min and min max, but you have to listen it properly. If the max min value is equals to min max value, then the game is said to be having a saddle point. That means in this question, if your max min value is equals to min max value, then only there will be a saddle point in your question. And when there is a saddle point in your question, that means that question will be of pure strategy, right? But ma'am, if there is no saddle point, then the question is of not pure strategy, then it will be of the mixed strategy, which will be do in the tomorrow session. And the corresponding strategy is called the optimum strategy. That means the strategy of max min and min max, the value of that 5, 5 or 6, 6, that 6 value will be called as optimum strategy, or you can say the value of the game. Right? Hope it is clear. It's now very, very important. So listen it very properly. Max min value will be equal to min max value. Right? How we calculate this value? I am just showing with an example. Please have a look on this in this matrix. This is a payoff matrix. Remember, this is a payoff matrix of 2 by 2. Why I am using 2 by 2? Can anyone tell me up? Why are we using this 2 by 2? It's a 3 by 2. Basically, it's a 3 by 2. Why? We are having 3 players. The player A and player B. But player A is having a strategy of 3. And this one player B is having a strategy of 2. Or we can say 2 players and the player A has a different categories. So we can use it as a 3 by 2 matrix. Payoff matrix. Right? That will be called as payoff matrix. Now what you have to given in the question, solve the following 2% zero sum game. See, it is given in the question, 2% zero sum game with the following 3 by 2 payoff matrix with the player A. Now again use the same concept which I have discussed right now with you, row min and column max. Row min, column max. Remember what I have used up, I am writing over here for your more understanding what we are using it. Remember this lines, row, min, column, max. That means for the row you have to find out the minimum value from each row. From the column you have to find out the maximum value. So that will be called as row min, column max. Right? So start off with over here with this question. Okay. 9 to which one is the minimum value? Row min. From each row minimum value. That minimum value is 2 over here. And from here it is 6. From here it is 4. So that means this is your minimum value. And from the column maximum value. So maximum value should I write over here for your understanding? Right? This will be a row min. That means minimum value from each row, and here we have to write it column max. Maximum value from each column. The maximum value from this is 9. The maximum value from this is 6. Right? Now this next step is, now you have to call, this is the first step. Right? Now what the next step is? Max min. Now the next step is max. Here the first step, max min. And here the next step is min max. Min max. Now what this max min means? Maximum from the minimum value. Now you have to find out the maximum from the minimum. From this minimum value 264, what is the maximum value is 6, right? I am using the different color so that it will be more indicated to you. So this is the value 6, so I am writing over here as a 6. Right, now we have to calculate over here is min max. Minimum from the maximum. From 9 and 6, which one is minimum? So it is a 6. That means definitely you have a saddle point. Why so? The min max value is equal to max min value. And when the max min value is equals to min max value, that this your question is of pure strategy. That means in this question you have a saddle point. And the value of the game is 6. The answer for this is 6. That's your saddle point. Hope you getting this. How we are calculating the value. Now I am showing it in a proper way also with the proper presentation. Look it over here. This is a question. Your first step is to find out, what is your first step is? To find out the row min and column max. So in this question we are finding out row min. How we find the row min? Minimum from each row, and we have selected the minimum from each row. And the second point is column max. Right, maximum value from each column. This is your first step, row min and column max. Now from the second, coming to the next and second point is your min max, like max min, and here it is min max. Max min means the maximum value from the row which you have selected, row min. From row min you have to select the maximum value. So the maximum value in this is 6 and here min max is 6, right? So that means it is a question of a pure strategy. There is a saddle point. And now if we have to write it, or what is the optimum strategy for the player A and B, how we use it, then we can say the optimum strategy. Then how we use the word like this? We use the word like this, optimum strategy for player A. For player A will be this one, considering over here is, that is A2, and considering for the player B, that is this one is B2. That will be an optimum strategy for player A and B. This is the way how we calculate the saddle point or a question of a mid strategy. Hope it's been clear to you with a proper example. Done. Shall we proceed further with the next example? Now you have to do by yourself. Take your pen and paper and start doing with me. Okay. Coming up to the next question. Please have a look on this question. You have to solve the game. Now it's your work to do it. Now player A is having a 3 strategy, A1, A2, A3. Now you have to solve this question and use the same concept which we have used. Start doing it. How we have to do? Take the pen and paper with you and start doing with me only. The first step is over here is, what we have used is row min. Row, I am doing with you, row min. And over here is column max. Right? So row min will be minimum from this, -5 to 0, 7. Which one is the minimum over here is -5. Over here 5, 6, 4, 8. Minimum value is 4. 4, 0, 2, -3. The minimum value is -3. Right? Remember, the more you go in the negative, the more will be the lesser. Now over here column max, maximum value. -5, 5, 4. Which one is maximum? 5. 2, 6, 0. Which one is maximum? 6. 0, 4, 2. That's a 4. 7, 8 -3. That is 3. This is the first step, that's row min. And the second point is column max. Right? Now coming up to the next point which I just told of you is, what one is the next point? Max min. Max min. Max min, the maximum value from the minimum. Maximum value from the minimum. -5, 4, -3. Which one is the maximum value over here is? 4. Right? And now the step over here is min max. Min max, minimum value from the maximum. From this maximum value 5, 6, 4, 8. Which one is minimum from this is 4 over here. Right? I'm just changing the color so that you may be getting more intelligently. So first step is column max, min max, and here we have done row min and max min. Right? Now what you have to find out? The saddle point. Do you feel there is a saddle point? Exactly. Here we have the 4 and the same here we are also having a 4. So that means its question is of a pure strategy. Pure strategy, and we were having a saddle point over here, and that saddle point will be equals to 4. Why it is 4? This one and this one. Right? And what about the optimum strategy? Yes, we have the optimum strategy. Which one is the optimum strategy? For this B3, right? For player B is the B3 is the optimum strategy, and for this A4 is having an optimum strategy. Hope you are getting this question also. Very beautifully question is done up. Again, repeat the same step in your mind. Row min, column max. Max min, min max. Right? Now you have to learn this step. Repeat it again and again and you will be able to do it. Now coming up to the third numerical. We have done 2 numericals today. Now we are doing the third numerical with you. Slowly and slowly the question will get tough. Right? Start doing this question with me only. We have given A1, A2, A3, A4. The player A is having 4 strategy. B1, B2, B3. The player B is having a 3 strategy. Again the same step. Start doing by yourself. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Start doing it. Yes, yes, yes. So same step. First step is what we have to do? Now you start writing it. What we have to do over here? Row min, right? And over here is column maximum, right? Start doing row min and column maximum. 2 minus 1, 8. Which one is minimum? Remember, sometimes what do mistake is 1 is minimum or minus 1 is minimum. Someone says 1 is minimum. No, Bachaji, when you are going on the scale, the minus 1 is going on the negative. So that will be more minimum, right? So over here 2 minus 1, 8, that is minus 1. Minus 4, minus 3, 4. Which one is minimum? Row min. Row mean that the minimum from each row. Minus 4, minus 8, 4, 0. Which one is minimum? Minus 8. 1 minus 6 minus 2. Which one is minimum? Minus 6, right? Now here is column max. Column max 2 minus 4 minus 8, 1. Which one is maximum over here is 2, right? Column max. The positive one is will be more maximum. Over here is maximum value. Now this is a question. That's why I am giving you. Minus 1, minus 3, minus 4 or minus 6. Which one is maximum? 90% student says, ma'am, minus 6 is maximum. No, bacha, this is minus 6. Minus, negative. That more you go to the negative one, you will become a smaller. So over here is the maximum value is minus 1. Right? Maximum 8, 4, 0, minus 2. That maximum value is 8. Right? This is first step, row min, column max. Now coming to the step 2. What is the step 2? The step 2 over here is max min. Max min, and here it is min max. Min max. Right? So find out max min. Max min, that indicates maximum value from the minimum. From this minimum, minus 1, minus 4, minus 8, minus 6. Which one is the minimum value over here is? Max minimum. That means maximum value. We have to find the maximum. Which one is maximum over here? The greater than. Minus 1, minus 4, minus 8, minus 6. Yes, the minus 1 is the maximum value. Right? Now here we have to find min max. Minimum from the maximum value. Minimum. 2, minus 1 or 8. Which one is minimum? Yes, exactly minus 1. Again. Hope you getting it. This question is of again pure strategy. Right? And there is a saddle point. Why there is a saddle point? Because the min max is equals to max min. And where it is getting a min max is equals to this one. We just selecting this one. I am changing the color just to make you more highlighted. That's B2, right? And this minus 1 value, same over here. So we are getting over this one. Right? So this is the way we are getting the saddle point. Where? Now if you want to write over here, if ma'am I have to write, so how we write it? You have to write it optimum strategy. You are using it, na? Optimum strategy for player A. That means player A should use which strategy? The player A should use A1 strategy. Right? That will be more optimum for them. And what about the player B? They are using B2 strategy. So you write it over here. Optimum. You have to write again and again. Optimum strategy for player B will be B2. You have to code the things properly. Which one is more better for you? So over here player 1 is the more one, and there the player 2. Why A1 and B2? Because they are having the points. Where the row min is equals to, where there is a max min is equals to min max. This is the situation we are getting the saddle point, and the question is of pure strategy. Done. We are used this so many questions. Why I am using this question? To make it more and more expert to you, and so that you are able to know what is exactly the reason behind doing this question. We have multiple questions in the game theory, right? The pure strategy. Now we are coming to the next concept also, that's a mixed strategy. And when we are using the mixed strategy, we have the different dominance rules also. We have the different methods of playing the mixed strategy, right? Shall we proceed with one more example for you, and that can be a last example, or if you want, I have many examples, right? This is again one example. The player B has 1, 2, 3 and the player A is having A1, A2, A3. That means the matrix is of 3 by 3. Okay, so start using and doing by yourself. You always need a help of mine, but I want you to start up the question and do it by yourself. So again, the step number 1, what is the step 1? Start telling me in your words. The first step is Roman, right? And the next point is column max. But try to read the question properly. What the question is? This is a different type of question. Have a look on the question. You start doing the practical questions without listening and without reading the question properly, and that's why you do the mistake. Please read the question properly. Find the range. Now there is a question that you have to find out the range direction between which directions of P and Q. Yes, you have to find the range. Now where it is P and Q? Come on and look. This is Q and this is P. That means this question is not the same question that we are doing it. This is a different question. Now you have to find out the range variable. That means the missing value of P and Q. You have to tell the question which makes the payoff matrix the same. Hope you getting what we have to find out. That's why this question is of different. But you have to do in the same way. You have to do in the same way. So start doing with me only. Again, row, min, and over here, column, max. Right? So first step is row min. What is the minimum value? 2, 4, 7. The minimum value is 2. 10, 7, Q. See, now don't worry, ma'am, what is the value of Q? What should I take it? You just ignore it and find the minimum value, that is 7. Minimum value from this, 4, P, 8, that's 4. Right? Same with the column max. Maximum value, 2, 10, 4, that's 10. Maximum value, 4, 7, P. Don't worry, this is just a digit, don't find out. 4 and 7 maximum will be 7. 7, 9 and 8, the maximum value will be 9. Done. The first step. Row min, column max. Now coming to the next step. Next step is max min. And over here is min max. Min max. But before starting this row min and min max, now you have to use your mind. You have to find out the strategy of your mind, and you are easily able to find the range, because it is a question of just a mind strategy. Sometimes you don't use the maths, you have to use their strategy, you have to use your mind. So find out this. See, for the Q, if I am talking about the Q, please have a look. The Q1 is saying over here, row min, minimum from all these value will be 7. Right? That means this Q value will be less than equals to 7. Ma'am, if it is less than 6, say example, if I am taking it's a 6, then it will be considered as 6. So that means here the Q value should be greater than equals to 7. Right? Greater than equals to 7. It should be greater than equals to 7. Why so you able to understand? Because if it is greater than, the Q value should be greater than equals to 7. If I take it greater, then what will happen? It can be 8, it can be 9, right? The minimum value from this will be 7. So that means my answer is right. My answer will be right. So that this is one range, Q should be greater than 7. Right? Coming up to the next point, have a look from this row, from this column side. This is 7, this is Q. Please remember, this is Q. Don't take it as like 9. This is a Q. Q for queen. Now considering this point, I have to take the maximum value, right? Now this Q value, if it is greater than 9, If it is greater than 9, then what will happen? This will be, say example, I am taking it as a 10. You are saying it now, if it is greater than 9, I am taking it as a 10. Then the maximum value will come up over here as 10. So it should be less than equals to 9. Ma'am, if it is less than equals to 9, what will happen? If it is less than equals to 9, see what will happen. I am taking it as now 9. Right? Less than equals to 9. Then what will happen? Or you can say less than equals to 9, then 7, 9, 8. Which one is greater? 9. My condition is getting fulfilled. So you have to see either your conditions are fulfilled or not fulfilled. So how it is fulfilled? That your Q value, this Q value is greater than 7 by considering from this situation. But it should be less than equals to 9. It should be less than, Q value should be less than equals to 9. Q value should be less than equals to 9. Why it should be less than equals to 9? Hope it is fine. So this is the range for Q. Okay. Now coming up to the finding the range of P. Please have a look on this. Now considering in this way. You can consider with this way also, first the row way. Okay. We are considering in the row way. Writing over here as P. Right. Now listen. 4, P, 8. The minimum for this is 4. Right. Now this value should be less than 4 only. If it is less than 4, what will happen? Please check it. If it is 3, 4, 3, 8, then it will be 3. So that means this value should be greater than equals to 4. Right. This value should be greater than equals to 4. Ma'am, if it is greater than equals to 4, what happens? Say example 4 or 5 or 6, then you have to find row minimum from that. 4, 4, 8, then the minimum value is also 4. So that means you indicate that the value of P should be, what it should be? It should be less than or greater than from 4. Right? So it should be, I must say it like in this way, greater than equals to 4. If I write in this way, the greater than, if it is greater than, say example I am taking it 5. Right? Greater than 4. If it is greater than equals to 4, say example 4, 5, 6, then again the answer will come up 4. Right? Now considering with the column point, but it should be within the limit of 7. Why? If it is more than 7, say example 8, then the answer will come up in a change way. So that means it should be less than equals to 7. This is the range for P and Q. This is the way you are using the game theory strategy, and with this way you have solved this question of game theory. Now what you have learned about the game theory? The game theory have the different strategy. We have the pure strategy, and when we are using the pure strategy, that means we were having a saddle point, and the saddle point will come up when only? When your row min will be equals to your, first you have to find your row min, then you have to find your column max, and the min max value will be equals to max min value. When it is equals, that point will be called as a saddle point, and considering this saddle point, we find the optimum strategy for both the players. Right? And in this question, we are able to find out the range value of P and Q also. But either is this always the scenario same? Ma'am, do we have the saddle point in all the question? No, not at all. We have the different categories of question. That question will be called as mixed strategy, and which we will do by tomorrow. Right? Thank you for today's session. Bye bye. Take care.